Welcome there to the first episode of the Chocolate Podcast. You're probably already asking many questions. What's up with this hat? What is this about? We're going to get right into those things. So, first questions first. Let's go ahead and talk about the hat. This is from Book of the Month because I like to read. Got the Book of the Month Club January book today. And they gave me a free hat because I haven't been with them in a few months. And they're like, here's a free month, here's a free hat. I forgot I got this. And so I just wanted to show you how it does not fit. Like any hat, we're taking it off now. So the Chocolate broadcast for the first episode is basically going to be a one-man, one-world ruling podcast. We'll have friends and stuff like that coming in here and doing all kinds of other stuff like that. I'm going to be on the go sometimes, so you might have some podcasts in my truck, or like maybe we'll be outside or something like that. We're going to figure it out. We're basically talking about like movie news and topics and all kinds of other stuff. So on today's show, we will be talking about the biggest news of the week. And at the time of recording this is on a Friday, so it will be hopefully from Friday to Friday news. So to get all that big news that came out from the weekend before, and then so on and so forth. And the main topic, as you see from the title, is we're going to be talking about people pretending to know movies that don't really watch movies, because frankly, just like a lot of things in the world, people like to comment on things they have no idea about. They don't understand what's going on, but they got an opinion on it. And so we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about the new Fallout episode, new Percy Jackson episode, the Pitt coming back on, his and hers premiere, and many other things. So go ahead and sit back, relax. If you're listening to this on podcast platforms, hit that like button. And if you're watching this live, or I guess not live, but if you're watching this feed on YouTube and you're seeing me, hello there. And also hit that like, subscribe button. And without further ado, let's go on and get right into the show. So, basically, this is going to be kind of, your run-of-the-mill show. We're going to be talking about, like I said, a main topic, what we had or whatever. And so as this show starts, I kind of want to get into the weekly videos that we dropped to let you know what I put out. So the past weekend, we did review Stranger Things Season 5. Had a lot of thoughts about that. Not crazy thoughts like people online thought, which we'll get to that. And I dropped the Copenhagen Test Season 1. I actually really enjoyed that show. I like Simu Liu a lot. And so I figured I would enjoy that, and I did. And then we watched the first new film of 2026, We Bury the Dead, starring Daisy Ridley. I really, really enjoyed that. So if you want to go view those, links will be in the description down below. And so now let's get into the actual show now that the preface and housekeeping is done. And let's talk about the news of the week. Alrighty, so the Stranger Things finale earned 25 to 28 million from its run in theaters, which is kind of crazy. This is coming to us from Variety. I'm not going to read the whole article, just going to basically just talk about what is said. That's insane. It's not too insane to think of because it is Stranger Things, but it's insane because Netflix will see that and they will tell you something like, hey, let's actually not keep putting movies in theaters or events or whatever and stuff like that. Kind of like what they're doing with Greta Gerwig's Narnia this year. I'm very excited for that. I'm hoping she can nail it. I actually have faith because I like her as a director. I know a lot of people are mad that she's doing Narnia because of, what Narnia stands for and this and that, and they don't think she's going to do that. But just plain devil's advocate saying that she will nail it. If it's going to be pretty good, I'd like to see that in theaters, but apparently they're doing like 1 week or something like that, and so they don't learn. Next up, we got the third teaser for Avengers Doomsday, now playing in theaters in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. And it's including the return of Cyclops, Professor X, and Magneto. Now, I got to watch Avatar a second time. I will tell you right now, as someone who likes this movie but does not love it like Way of Water, I love that woman in it, though. What's her name? Stay with me now. Lord, I would have gave it all up for her. I'm just like, I would have betrayed the human race. I would have for her. I saw that trailer, changed my life. Cyclops is probably my favorite X-Men. I love Cyclops so much. I love Scott Summers. I also love the actor that plays him. I'm blanking on him right now. But yeah, he's cool. And I always thought they kind of butchered him in the movies because, they made the Wolverine show. And so, yeah, seeing that footage made me think, wow, that's cool. But trailers do deceive. That shot could very well be his death scene. He could show up and do that, and they could crush him. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the context. But it's still cool to see that, and also cool to see that little old school outfit. I was liking that. I like that. All right, and so speaking of Netflix, we're back to them again. They're reportedly interested in giving a 17-day theatrical window for Warner Brothers films once they acquire the studio. Now, like I already said with the Narnia stuff, I'm not going to reiterate that. This sucks. Because can you imagine going to watch the Batman Part 2? And let's say it does get a worldwide release, because I don't know how they're going to do that, like if they're going to do some limited stuff, because I know Stranger Things, for example, wasn't at my local theater, wasn't at my theater I go to an hour from now, but like the theater, like 2 hours from me, that I go to sometimes for special occasions, because they got like an IMAX, they had it, right? They had it like in all of their theaters. I was like, are you even playing anything that day? I don't know how they were. They were showing this movie every like 30 minutes. It was like 2.5 hours. I don't know how they did that, but they did. Yeah, I'm a little worried about how stuff like the Warner Brothers thing's going to go, because, like, if it goes through before, like, even if it's not Batman Part 2, let's just imagine, like, Batman Part 3, or, like, Superman 3, or a Wonder Woman Batman, like, whatever comes out. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how awful that'll be? 17-day window? Like, what if something happens? What if you get sick? What if you miss that? You got to watch it cropped. You got to watch it on Netflix, resolution, on decompressed quality. My God. It's scary to think about. And so, okay, more Netflix news. We've got a lot of stuff. So we're going to get fully into the Stranger Things stuff later on, but just to tackle a little bit of it, the Duffer Brothers are basically over-explaining stuff, talking about the Demogorgons in the Stranger Things series finale. Mainly, they're saying it's just that Vecna was not expecting a sneak attack on the home turf. People keep talking about plot holes and stuff like that, and most of it is just the stupidest thing ever. Like, oh, did this person end up with that person? Like, clearly they did. Clearly that, like, it's implied, right? This is a plot hole. One that I did not think of in my full review. Because we see in last season, or season 4 now, because season 5's ended. So I'm talking about season 4. Vecna comes up in there, and he's in Dimension X. He's looking around. He's looking around. Oh, Demogorgons, the little Demodogs, this and that, whatever. And so they come from there. Once again, playing devil's advocate, the only thing I can kind of like, whatever, and BS out of that is that they pretty much seem like once the Upside Down was created that they pretty much reside there. So maybe they just moved. That's stupid to say, but I'm like, hey, playing devil's advocate here. And just kind of going through the motions, right? And speaking of going through the motions, so discussing film that's coming from them directly from Twitter, they put out the list of major TV shows expected to air in 2026. I want to talk about a few of them in just some details. So, actually, there's a lot on here. So, buckle up, boys, buckle up. So, we've got Carrie. Now, Carrie, I'm excited for, is coming from Mike Flanagan. I am in the middle of reading the Carrie book. It's actually Stephen King's first book he ever put out, and somehow I haven't read it yet. I've seen both the adaptations of Chloe Grace Moretz, the original one, of course. I never saw that Carrie 2 one. I don't think that's a good movie. I haven't heard great things about it, but I haven't watched that. I always get confused when they make TV shows of these books that are short, though. I get this as a mini series, but like, I feel like based on like what I've read, like, I'm like almost 100 pages in. I'm like, okay. Like, I feel like you could, like, that's why this usually is a movie. But we should get everything up in there. I already am kind of iffy about the casting, though. I can't remember the girl who they got, but Carrie, if you've read the book, is described as like real, like big, right? A little overweight, a little chunky. She got acne all over her face, this and that, whatever. I think they make fun of that clearly, and they call her names. I can't remember what one name they call her. I think they do call her like Piggy or something like that, but kind of described like that. And so once again, Hollywood has done it. They have not casted anybody remotely that looks like that. And so yeah, Ted season 2 is next. I'm gonna kind of skim over that. I love Ted season 1, but I'll watch season 2. It's not like I'm like, oh man, it's coming. The Beef season 2. Now this I am excited for. I love Beef season 1. I love they're doing an anthology. Cannot wait. Lanterns is up next. Now Lanterns is going through the ringer. As somebody who is a DC fanboy, I just, I really need them to. I need them to step up their game. People are mad about what they were showing, the footage, stuff like that, but I'm not really worried about it considering they did push it after Supergirl. If it was coming before, then clearly I'd be a little worried. But yeah, that's that. Pitt season 2, which we will talk about later because it did just air. Spider Noir, Vision Quest, Paradise season 2, which I have not finished season 1. I need to. Euphoria season 3, East of Eden, which I'm interested in that one. Very interested in that one. Crystal Lake, The Boys final season, Wonder Man, which is in a couple weeks, Invincible season 4, X-Men 97 season 2, One Piece season 2, which is kind of crazy to think. I didn't realize until 2 weeks ago that show's still on season 1. I was like, what? Ted Lasso season 4, Bridgerton season 4, never watched it. The Burrows, Breaking Bear, they almost got me. Scrubs revival, Young Sherlock, Outer Banks final season, The Testaments, Devil May Cry season 2, The Gentleman season 2, which I never finished season 1, but it was a very good show. The Vampire Lestat, Blade Runner 2099, which I'm glad is finally coming out. I thought that show was coming out last year, but apparently not. But we finally get it this year. We got Avatar: Last Airbender season 2, Stranger Things, Tales from 85, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is in a couple weeks. Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, My Adventures with Superman season 3, and oh my god, Malcolm in the Middle. There's like 20. I'm done. I'm getting tired. There's a billion different shows coming out. These are all interesting. I'll definitely watch all these. The last one on here is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2, which is a show I really loved. I know people had a lot of doubts about it, but I'm excited about it. I know we've got other stuff like Legally Blonde prequel I'm pretty hyped about. And so, yeah, these shows look awesome. If I had to pick, I'll just play a little game. If I had to pick 3 that I was most hyped about, I would honestly, Daredevil's on here too. I would probably say Daredevil because this one's like the new showrunners or whatever, so it's going to be a little bit different in season 1, which I did like. I am, let's see. X-Men 97 was really good. I am going to be that guy who says Euphoria as well. I know I'm going to get hate for that, but I actually like Euphoria for what it is. All the goofiness, this and that, whatever. I think, clearly all the actors in it are excellent. But I'm excited to see how you wrap that plot up, especially with them doing the time skip. So I guess I'm more just kind of going what I'm more interested in. And then I would probably say Lanterns or Spider Noir. We'll just say tie, right, for those. Mainly because I'm excited to see how they execute those. I'm excited in the premise of Lanterns. I'm excited in the premise of Spider Noir. But the execution, Spider Noir could look really goofy, and Lanterns could be really boring. So I'm excited to see how they wrap that up fully. Now, let's see. House of the Dragon is going to end with season 4. I don't have much to say about that. I've never read the book that's based on. I have watched the show. I'm caught up. But I will say this, as somebody that knows how it ends, I'm ready to see that. All right, and so let's get to the next one. James Gunn says that Supergirl does not follow Woman of Tomorrow comic religiously. He says, and quote, I love Millie Alcock in the movie. It's a space fantasy, which is like Guardians in a way, but based on the Tom King book. It doesn't follow it religiously, but it has a lot of the core of that there. Now, what I take that as is we have the story, but we kind of tweaked everything else. And I'm only saying that, I'm saying this as somebody that loves James Gunn, loves DCU, loves DC Comics. It doesn't look, if you've looked at the Woman of Tomorrow comic, if you've even pulled up a page on Google of it, that trailer do not do justice at all. I get it's only taking place in like 2 or 3 areas, but it doesn't look as colorful. It doesn't look as vibrant. It looks very bland and almost kind of boring. When I watched that trailer, I was so excited because the Superman trailer just did so much for me. I was so excited for that. Love that movie. So I still have hope for this movie, clearly. But when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, I'm hyped. And then I watched it again. I was like, it's okay. It ain't fully moving the needle for me necessarily. But anyways, let's go ahead and move along. So Avatar Fire and Ash passed $1 billion. And Miley Cyrus is teasing that there's a something for that 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana. I didn't hear nobody really talk about it online this week. I was like, whoa, that was my childhood. I'll take that. I remember that and Sweet Life and all them coming on, Raven, whatever. Now they've got awful shows on that network. I don't know if you have any children or if you have any young brothers and sisters or family members, whatever, if you've seen, they probably don't even watch Disney, probably just watch YouTube shorts. But if you've seen anything, anything on Disney now, like as far as like what their network stuff is, it's the most poorly written, which I'm like, there's other stuff that's poorly written too, but like you'd have like a Raven episode like deal with racism or like deal with something like important like in today's climate, which is kind of bold and kind of crazy. And like you watch like the stuff now, like Raven's Home, try to watch an episode of that, I about threw up. I said, what, who are these kids? I don't care about her kids. Why are we following them adventures at school? Like even like Raven them, like they took place in school, but like they felt older. Like, go back to Wizards of Waverly Place. Like, Alex and them felt older. Now it's just so kiddie, and it's so... I'm good. You'll never have an iCarly, Victoria's again. You'll never have those shows like that, which I know it's Nickelodeon, but still, you'll never have those again. And so, next up, Guillermo del Toro says he doesn't do test screenings for his movies, but shows them to a group of his closest filmmakers and friends for their feedback. The group includes people like James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, Rian Johnson, and so on, which I don't blame him. If I was him and I was making really good content like that, especially Frankenstein, which I really, really loved, then, I would probably do the same thing. So next up, we've got the Critics' Choice Awards. We're going to talk about that a lot. That's actually dealing with topic of the show as well. Which we will get to after this movie news. So, buckle in. So, The Naked Gun has won Best Comedy Film at the Critics' Choice Awards. Actually, this is just now news to me as well, and I so-called looked at this week. I didn't even know. What were the other nominees? Maybe One of Them Days. I can't think of any other comedy movies that really count. Deep Cover, I guess. That's 3. The Secret Agent won Best International Film at the Critics' Choice. Miles Catton won Best Young Actor or Actress. Erin Doherty won Best Supporting Actress in a Limited Series in Adolescence. Owen Cooper became the youngest male actor winner of all time for his performance in Adolescence. Stephen Graham won Best Actor in a Limited Series in Adolescence as well, which is funny because I never watched that show, but I heard it was like really good, and apparently it is. Train Dreams has won Best Cinematography at the Critics' Choice Awards, a movie that I have not watched, by the way. I need to. South Park won Best Animated Series. Sinners won Best Cast Ensemble. Ike, oh my god, I can't say his name. Baron Holtz wins Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series for The Studio. Janelle James won Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series in Abbott Elementary. Seth Rogen won Best Actor in a Comedy Series for The Studio, which I actually agree with. I love The Studio so much. Let's see. The Studio won Best Comedy Series there. Apparently Jimmy Kimmel won Best Critics' Choice Award Talk Show. Avatar Fire and Ashes won Best Visual Effects, which makes sense because whenever it comes out, that is the best looking movie that year. Frankenstein won 3 awards in a row. They won Best Costume Design, Best Hair and Makeup, Best Production Design. Jacob Elordi won Best Supporting Actor. And Amy Madigan won Best Supporting Actress, which I think is funny because we kind of got like 2 monsters right there. Got a little Frankenstein, got a little bit of Gladys there. And it's that I thought that was kind of funny. And then we start getting into more of like the drama stuff. So Catherine Lanesa has won Best Supporting Actress for The Pitt. We got Tremel Tillman, who won Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series for Severance, which I actually love because he is so good in that show. Noah Wall won Best Actor in a Drama Series for The Pitt, which we will talk about later because it just came back on. Rhea Seehorn has won Best Actress in a Drama Series for Pluribus. And Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters won Best Original Song, which I want to tackle that real quick because they also won Best Animated Film as well. This kind of gets a little bit in the topic of the show, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but people that don't watch movies don't understand. Like, all I saw was love for this movie. This movie blew up. People are hyping it up. I never watched it. Literally 2 weeks ago, it was my first time watching this film. I was like, oh, that movie's really, really good. I could see that being somebody's best animated film of the year. I personally think that it was mine until I rewatched some others and it's like maybe like kind of tie it with something else. I think I still liked The Bad Guys 2 a little bit more. I really love that film this year. But yeah, I just love how people just want to hate on anything that's like anything that has any kind of success. Like when it was popular, it's fine. But like people were like, Golden won Best Song. It's like, yeah, like it's I hear that shit on the radio. I was hearing that on the radio, and I didn't even know I didn't even know what the context was. I ain't never even seen the movie until now. But anyways, I digress. So Sinners has won Best Original Score at the Critics' Choice Awards, which I agree with that. That soundtrack was awesome. One Battle After Another won Best Adapted Screenplay. Mission Impossible won Best Stunts. Sinners won Best Original Screenplay. And Paul Thomas Anderson won Best Director. Jessie Buckley won Best Actress for Hamnet, which I agree with. Literally, I'm finna get to that. Both my actors won because Timothée Chalamet won Best Actor for Marty Supreme, and I fully agree with that. I loved his award speech too. Love Timothée Chalamet, as you guys know. One Battle After Another won Best Picture, rounding out the Critics' Choice Awards. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of funny, like when we get into that, which, like I said, getting to the topic of the show, I don't want to fully spoil my full topic, but it is talking about people like that are mad about these awards and stuff like that. So we will get into that a little bit later. So earlier in the week on January 4th, we got a new teaser for Sam Raimi's Send Help. And as you guys know, horror thriller follows two coworkers who hate each other but get stranded together on a desert island after their plane crashes. I am excited for this movie. I love Sam Raimi. I love Dylan O'Brien. And I'm blanking on her name. I love the other actress here. They, I think, are going to have great chemistry together. He's already doing great as like that awful boss type role. And so I really love that they're kind of hopefully pushing out. I heard somebody say the other day, stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, where they were talking about January being like the worst month for movies. I agreed with that statement 2-3 years ago. No longer. Last year, did we get things like Flight Risk? Yes. But for every Flight Risk in January, you get a companion. This year, We Bury the Dead seems pretty... I liked it. A lot of people didn't love it, but I feel like nobody hated it, right? It's still pretty good. And this weekend, we're going to get into what we're watching later on. But like, there's some really good movies out there. Like, I heard Primate's really good. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like January has been kind of like, hey, here's some soft bangers for you. Like, here's like maybe your first 4-star, your first 3.5. Like, I don't know. I just don't fully agree with that. But on the same, actually the day after, we got a new trailer for The Rip, which is actually the first trailer I watched for this, which is the movie starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. And I found out because of the trailer that Tiana Taylor is also in it, and so is Steven Yeun. That's the one where the Miami cops get the millions in cash from, like, I think the Stash House. Yes, the Stash House. January 16th is when it releases on Netflix. I am scared. I love this cast. I love this premise. I love this idea. You know how many times I said that shit last year? You know how many times I said that last year? And then I'd come right over here, put the camera in front of me, maybe stand up because I'm passionate, and I'd record. And guess what? I tell you how bad the fucking movie was. I'm just scared because I love movies, as you guys know. So this is a movie podcast now, and it's just always something. I feel like it's always something with a Netflix movie. Like I swear it is. And to me, it's just I don't know. I'm just kind of getting tired of being tired. I'm tired of being disappointed. So I want this movie to do good. I hope it's going to do good. And yeah, let's just, fingers crossed. Let's interlock. Yeah, so next up, let's see here. Okay, we got the first poster and first trailer for The Death of Robin Hood. That movie looks so much more violent than I was expecting. I thought it was like, because it was like Robin Hood's grappling like with his past, and like, he's got a mysterious woman that helps him like when he's injured, and I was like, oh shit, and it's like, okay, shit, all right, I really like those actors, nice, like, I love Hugh Jackman, shit, that's Wolverine. No, this movie looks like the fucking Northman on steroids. Like, there's like a scene like when you see him get wounded in the trailer, I was like, damn, so he did him like that? And then, like, they make multiple points where he's like, I'm not, like, necessarily a good guy. I murder. And, like, he is killing the shit out of people in this movie. And I was like, what? I just really thought it was going to be, like, a period piece drama. Like, where he's like, I'm on my deathbed, reliving, like, some of the events. Like, no, this is like, I'm on my deathbed because I low-key fucked around and found out with the wrong guy because I'd been doing this my whole life. And I was like, shit. Like, it's crazy. Poster's awesome. Trailer's awesome. You know what else trailer's kind of cool and a little weird? The Beauty. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Ryan Murphy. I have no really thoughts about him. I haven't watched a show of his in years. But I am going to watch this one based on a comic starring Evan Peters, Rebecca Hall, who I like. It's coming January 21st on Hulu. So the series follows detectives who discover a sexually transmitted virus transforming people into physical perfection. But there's a terrifying result. And also from the trailer, it seems like you can pass this on through sex. So people are literally getting STDs, but it's like fucking awesome. So I didn't know Ashton Kutcher was in this show. I feel like that's the only thing that's kind of like where I'm like, what? Ashton Kutcher? Dude's in it. I'm excited for it. I don't know how it's like the comic. They're doing like a re-release of the comic. I don't know if they're going to do like every year's a season or whatever. But book one, which I don't know how much it covers. It looks like it's like this thick. Is coming out. By the way, stupid. It's like coming out like the day before or like the day of the episode release. And so I was like, well, okay, so much for me being able to read this before, but that's something else. That's just how books and stuff that I hate how they do stuff like that. They're like, let's put it out on the same day because I like want to go buy it. No, I like to get it before so I can like read it. But I don't know how that's gonna be. I hope it's good. It is a Hulu show, so even if it is good, it might get canceled. Just know that. Mayor of Kingstown, a show I really love, a show I just reviewed. Go watch that on the channel. Is ending with season 5, and I like that. I like that that's a little nice and quaint. Ending with season 5, you know, that seems kind of cool. I think that last season was kind of the weakest season of the show. I can now say that now that there's 4 seasons out, and 4 was clearly better. I think that they're not necessarily leading up to anything for me to be like, oh, next season's going to be it, but I'm sure they will. They kept a few characters alive they kind of need to deal with, and I also kind of was wondering with that too. They killed like so many of the cast this year. Like literally, like I feel like 4 or 5 characters died, and like a couple of them were in the same episodes, and I was like, damn, we just kill them like that. So I guess that's why. First poster came out for They Will Kill You, starring Zazie Beetz. I just want to take time real quick and tell you how much I love this woman. If we ended up growing on this channel, like to the point where I've got hundreds of that, like maybe I can get her on this. You don't even realize that scene in this trailer where she's like out her door. Let me stop saying I got a podcast. Good God. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this movie is like Ready or Not on steroids, and I say on steroids because the violence looks cooler, like the fights look more awesome. So it follows a woman who takes a housekeeping job. She's fresh out of prison, or jail. I don't remember. I think she's in prison or was, in a New York City skyscraper, who uncovers a possible satanic cult. It's not possible. It definitely is when we see from the trailer. And ironically, these all keep dealing somewhat with the topic of the show, which we're going to get to in a few more minutes. So yeah, people I kept seeing on TikTok. I hate TikTok comments, which we're going to get to. Like I said, all I saw was, ain't she ready or not? Ain't she ready or not? Ain't ready or not? It's a similar premise. The action's clearly different settings, different this and that. Yeah, but it's like Ready or Not. No, stop. Shut up. Guy who saw like 4 movies, stop. I do think it is funny that this is coming out on the same day as the sequel to Ready or Not. And so that's going to be a weird double feature because like they are similar. I will give you that. But yeah, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny for me. And so now we return back to Netflix because these are not in order. I apologize. Duffer Brothers are now working on Stranger Things spinoffs, or I guess the spinoff. There's only one. They said no Hawkins, no returning characters, set in a different decade, doesn't involve Upside Down. But the only thing that will make it a spinoff is that rock that Vecna touched in season 5, it's going to have something to do with that. And I was like, whoa. I'm somebody that doesn't even hate the show. Like, I actually really like the show. I actually kind of liked how it ended. I didn't hate the final season like a lot of people. Are overreact. By the way, overreaction. Fuck off. That's an overreaction. You cannot like things. You can do this and that. People are like becoming awful. Like, I know the world's getting shitty and people are just awful anyways. But it's really becoming a point to where people are just becoming like the worst human beings on the fucking planet. because all I was seeing was just mass mob mentality of people like, oh, goddamn trash. And half the complaints were really just like, oh, I wanted something to happen that didn't happen. And so because it didn't play out the way that I expected to and imagined in my mind when I had all this fucking free time, that means it's a bad and poorly written show. No, that's not what that means. What it means is that you want, for example, Avengers Doomsday. I would love to see that scene from the comics where like Thanos rips out, or not Thanos, but Doom rips out Thanos' spine. That would be cool. If it doesn't happen, that's not bad writing. They just didn't fucking do it. Like, it's, pisses me off. Pisses me off. Coming soon, bring your own popcorn bucket. It's returning to Cinemark movie theaters January 18th and the 19th. I love they do that for 2 days because I think it's $5 and you refill anything. And so, yes. But I'm going to try to speed through these though because I do want to get to the topic of the show. So, real quick, Hunt for Gollum, Lord of the Rings movie, Sir Ian McKellen and Elijah Wood are going to be in the film, which is nice. And I am very, very excited. I will talk about something recently since we are now about to get to Star Wars news. We had Tom Cruise on the set recording a lightsaber duel for Starfighter, which I think is kind of funny because kind of revealed there is going to be a lightsaber duel at some point. They've pretty much 100% confirmed that Ryan Gosling is not a Jedi, so I want to know who that's going to be between. I am excited. Dave Filoni and Lin-Wen Brennan will reportedly replace Kathleen Kennedy as the new co-presidents of Lucasfilm. Brennan is getting promoted from general manager and will oversee executive duties while Filoni is going to do all the creative development. Now, Filoni is somebody kind of funny because people fucking hate him now. And I'm telling you, dude, Star Wars fans, nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. They will literally give you a fucking cinema masterpiece like Andor, and they're like, the bricks on the wall. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We'll literally get cool characters and stuff, some new characters, some original characters. But don't act like Luke. I thought you wanted new people. I thought you didn't want us to go back to that. But actually I do. Then when we fucking give them that, when we do that, it's the same thing. I wish they'd do something new. Fuck. Even Acolyte, right? Acolyte had so many fucking problems. That one episode, what was it, that tandem episode? Was it 6 and 7? Fucking, God, I hate I said that. But I think it's that tandem episode. It was like the 2 before the last one, because the last one was that fight. That shit was so pissed me off. I was like, bro, why are we showing the POV from you? And once again, the episode when it happened, I was like, okay, it's not that eventful what you're showing what happened. I could have cared less. But then when you showed it again, and I remember that week, I was like, oh, I'm excited because like they're gonna fight. Nope, they made us wait another week. This show had problems. But like when Homeboy was out there doing the headbutt and lightsabers, like killed the shit out of them people, I was like, oh hell yeah. These people out here, oh goddamn woke. You can't do that. And then they're using lore stuff. Oh shit, fuck you. They're not doing that. They didn't say it out loud. What do you God, Star Wars fans suck. I'm sorry. Fuck, they're awful. They're fucking awful. They're like the Pokemon card scammers. I feel like they all look like that. They're like, goddamn, woke up. Like right now, you could like Starfighter. They're hyped about, okay, because they're like Ryan Gosling, cool, okay. Let that have been different. Let the little kid who he was like taking be a little black kid, or like let Ryan Gosling have been like recasted, and like let's say like I don't know somebody Hispanic, like a Hispanic. It could have been a guy still too, not even a woman. Could have been a guy. What? I can't fucking do that. Like Star Wars, they were already tripping that the villain apparently is a female. I was like, oh my God. I can't. Like every time I talk about Star Wars, I do this. I get pissed. Because I sit here and think about how they fucking deserve, they don't deserve this shit. Like Dave Filoni out here, he's like fucking kicking ass. He's like, bro, you like Rebels? Fuck yeah. Didn't he do Clone Wars too? He's like, yeah, you like Clone Wars? He's like, fuck yeah. He's like, oh, you like this? Fuck yeah. Oh, you like this? Fuck yeah. And then they're like, I don't even like any of those projects. And now they don't like him now. They really don't now. So I don't know if they're going to like this. They are going to be happy that Kathleen's gone. They're even like that. They don't even give her credit when she does good things, which I understand she's had problems. But like, they don't even give her credit for shit like Andor. They don't even give her credit for that. They don't even care. They don't care. They deserve less. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry. We got a lot of castings for the Tomb Raider series. I'm not even going to touch on that. That Tomb Raider series, I'm going to pray for them. Lord help us. The Housemate 2 is now in the works because it made fucking money. And people that literally, we're going to finally test the waters because people keep being like, you got both two sides of this. People that like City Sweeney, people that don't. Rush Hour 4, about to film. Sebastian Stan potentially might be in the Batman Part 2. Rumors speculating of who he's going to play. Rumor has it he's probably going to be Harvey Dent. Hello here. It actually just got put out that not only is he starring in it, but he is going to be playing Harvey Dent. So I'm now fixing to remove the 10 minutes where I talked about who else he could have been playing as and all the speculation because it's now confirmed. And so we're cutting to the next part. Barry Keoghan's also going to come back as the Joker. That's confirmed. And I think we're almost done with the news. We're almost done. Okay. We're going to talk about some cool things real quick. So Whistle, starring Daphne Keane, which is the horror film where they find an Aztec death whistle. I thought this movie was coming out last year because I remember this trailer dropped, I swear to God, last March or April. I was like, oh, so like this October? No. They're like, next year. And I was like, what the fuck is the trailer doing out so damn early? And now they're all of a sudden like, oh, February 6th? That's when it comes out. I'm like, what the fuck? So soon, no warning, no marketing for this. Probably gonna flop, but it looks fucking terrifying. It looks really good. I hope it does good. It's an IFC film, I think, so it should be fucking scary. Most of their movies are pretty good. And yes, it is from IFC. Now, Late Night with the Devil, I didn't love, but at the same time, I can still tell you, still a pretty good movie. Zootopia 2 is apparently tracking to be the biggest Hollywood animated movie of all time at $1.8 billion. And let's see. I had a couple more on here, which I actually see something about No Other Choice I was going to talk about, but I'm not going to because I haven't been able to see that movie. All right, okay, we're getting to more recent days. We're almost caught up. Okay, so we got the first poster for Undertone by a young filmmaker who I don't think has even put out a movie yet. I think it's his first movie. A24 bought this film at a 7-figure deal at an unprecedented sum for the debut director. And it follows a paranormal podcast host caring for her dying mother. She soon becomes plagued by recordings of strange noises in a married couple's house. Premise already took me by storm. Also, the fact they paid this now, I was like, is this the next Weapons? Is this the next Weapons? I then immediately go, okay, we're going to skip some of this stuff that's not even really newsworthy. Who cares, right? Go to that fucking trailer. Terrifying. It's terrifying. I'm just going to be honest with you. It is fucking terrifying. There's noises. Actually, I don't even think it's the trailer. I think it was like, they did like a little Long Legs teaser thing before that. We're doing Baba Black Sheep, but it's like in fucking reversed. I said, hell nah. I just want a scary horror movie. I want an Oddity again because Oddity was the last time I was like, oh, I got fucking freaked. Oh, I got scared at a scene. Oddity was so well written. It was so well paced out, so well thought out. It was just such a good movie. It's such a good time. And the Oddity director has a movie coming out later on this year where Adam Scott's like in a hotel or something like that. I can't think of what it's called, but it sounds fucking awesome. And so I hope that's scary as well, but I'm hoping I can add Undertone to the list. And so now we're rounding it out with the last few final stories. So Will Arnett has been cast in Tony Gilroy's new film, Behemoth, replacing David Harbour. Beef Season 2 has a release date, which I talked about earlier, on April 16th now. People, for some fucking reason, I'm not even going to really talk about this one for a long time because it pisses me off. There's no Stranger Things episode. I'm not even going to talk about that one. That shit was so stupid. That's all my fucking feed was online. People were like, actually, did you look at the clock in the background in episode 4 of Season 2? Actually, I said, people are crazy. These people vote. Scary. Fallout New Vegas remaster is reportedly in the works. I don't talk game stuff, but I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, oh shit, New Vegas. Which, by the way, people took that as, oh, it's come out this year. I was like, no, it said reportedly in the works. Okay, reportedly. And so now we got the big news. Tegan Croft and Milo Mayhem have been cast as Rapunzel and Flynn Rider in Disney's Tangled live action. Didn't see people get really mad about that one. People were a little iffy about the maybe a little bit of the castings I've seen here or there, but it seems like people are okay. I know every time Disney announces a live action, people are like, they're okay. They're good. They're okay. They are fine. 2025 was also IMAX's biggest year ever to global box office, earning $1.28 billion. And I think that rounds it out. Actually, you know what? I am going to talk about this real quick. So at the time of recording this, yesterday is when the trailer dropped. Wrecking Crew, starring Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa. Now, I usually don't care about these streaming movies, especially like whenever they come out. Some of them surprise me, some of them don't. But the film follows two brothers who, after 20 years of bad blood, must work together to unravel a conspiracy behind their father's murder. And it comes out January 28th on Prime Video. This fucking trailer's peak. I don't care what you think about movies. This fucking trailer is awesome. It slaps. It looks awesome. I am so excited. I am. I was like, oh my God. Like, Batista looks cool. Momoa looks cool. The action looks very fucking fun. I'm hyped. And last night also we got word of a Scooby-Doo series in April on Netflix. Or I guess it's going to be filming on Netflix. I have no words on that. So, let's now get into, because this has been long enough, the actual topic of the show. And that is that I cannot stand that people pretend to know movies. Basically, I was going down the rabbit hole on TikTok. You get all those ads, right? So I got an ad for Marty Supreme, or I was back when it was coming out. And I kept seeing people be like, oh, it's like a TikTok, it's like a ping pong movie, whatever. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, oh, people don't understand. These are like average moviegoers, which have now became people I've disliked. And, I don't like to be that guy that's like, oh, I'm a cinephile. I just watch a movie a day like Tom Cruise. I don't want to act like that, but it does make me mad because it's like, just do, like, I don't know. I'm just the type of person, I'll do research before I, even remotely put something out there online or something like that. Like, if I'm going to comment about something especially for something I don't know. And people just don't care. Like, they just comment first thing that comes ahead. They'll be like, ping pong. And I'm like, oh, God. So, movies came and went, whatever. But I saw a video. Stupidest fucking video I've seen in my life. And it sent me down a rabbit hole. And it's all I've been seeing on Twitter. I guess you would say Black Twitter at this point. And TikTok. And all of it is Marty Supreme discourse with Sinners. So, as you saw earlier in the show, I told you about who won what. And one battle after another, one best this and that, one best movie, blah, blah, the Critics' Choice Awards. They could care less. They're mad because Timothy, who is a damn good actor and fucking deserved that award, literally because he won the award over Michael B. Jordan, and I don't fucking, they're saying it's a race thing. Now, I don't know if you've looked, I'm black. Well, I'm black. And I can tell you right now, shit, that's a race thing. I really do think that the Angela Bassett Award thing, or whatever this and that, while not, I guess you could sit there and say, while not necessarily kind of a race thing, because I just think anybody deserved it, but, what's her name? Whatever her name is, I can't think, Jamie Lee Curtis. I think anybody really deserved it over her that year. I do think it should have been Angela Bassett, though. So I could see you saying that one was racism, and I actually kind of agree with you. This shit right here, and also think it has something to do with this being a superhero movie too, because you know how they are. But this right here in particular just kind of pissed me off, and I try to remove all my bias from, loving Timothy, because I do. But I was sitting there thinking, no, Sinners was my favorite movie of the year. Even after watching Marty Supreme, Sinners is my movie of the year. My favorite character of the year was his name, Bob, from basically Leonardo DiCaprio's character from One Battle After Another. And my favorite supporting actor was Miles Catton, so I agree with that. And I would say that my favorite actress this year was Jessie Buckley in Hamnet, and then my favorite actor was Timothée Chalamet. And I get that's my opinions, whatever. But I just think it's so crazy that here he was on stage talking about how much he loves Sinners, how much he loved Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan sitting over smiling. I get online to fucking see people that literally watched like 3 movies a year. And they probably only went 2 times in the theaters, maybe once. And one of them was Sinners, which is good because that movie deserved everything it got. It deserved all the money it got, so I'm glad he supported it. But to go watch that and be like, I like literally have the comments I was saying, I ain't even watched Marty Supreme, but I could tell you right now, he didn't deserve to win that. And I'm like, what? How the fuck could you sit there and say that? It doesn't make any sense. It's the stupidest thing I've seen, and it's the dumbest discourse I've seen this year. Especially looking at all the other categories. I haven't watched Training Dreams, but like if Joel would have won it, I'd be like, cool. If Leonardo DiCaprio would have won it, he was great and like anybody could have won. I feel like this is like the one year defining, like where I'm like, I really think that anybody for Best Actor, if they won it, good job. Like Michael B. Jordan, good job. And even like that, like their complaints are, well, he played 2 people, he did double the work. It's like, that's not how that fucking works. Like if he would have played 23 people, okay. Are you trying to say that like, I don't know, like The Nutty Professor is like the greatest movie of all time because of that? Like I'm just saying like, that's not how that works. And I just feel like people don't understand that. And like you would have a couple people up in there saying what I'm saying, but like their comment would just get bombarded with people getting hundreds of thousands of likes on comments. Like the video in question I'm talking about, the woman had like 5 million likes on this thing. I was like, 5 million likes? 5 million with an M for money, because that's what she's making money from this. Just talk about it's just racism, and I just think it's the stupidest shit. And like I said, you can say whatever, you can get mad, whatever, this and that, but like if you've seen every movie that came out, or the majority of them, like I watched 153, I think I ended up on. And the majority of those were in theaters. Like I would say maybe 10 of those were, maybe 10, 15, whatever. Maybe you could push 20 were streaming films. And so that's like over 100 in theaters, right? And I'm not saying you got to go do that. I'm not telling you to go do that, right? Because a lot of those were like flight risk and this and whatever. But for me, seeing, Marty Supreme, Sinners, this and that, Sinners was my favorite. But if you told me that Marty Supreme was your favorite, I'd be like, 100%. If you told me Frankenstein was, 100%. I just don't know this discourse of, well, he deserved, it wasn't even an Oscar. We didn't even talk, dude, the fact that we got this over that, if he loses that Oscar, which once again, if he wins the Oscar, I'm like, hell yeah, Michael B. fucking deserves it. But if he loses it, can you fucking imagine this discourse? They're gonna be fucking pissed. And even like that, I'm somebody that thinks Timothy deserves it too. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, damn, root for both teams. But I just don't know why, why we have to put down somebody for that. Like, it's like I literally saw somebody even comment too, and this shows they're ignorant too. They're like, oh yeah, over a movie about a rich white man doing whatever he wants. I'm like, you definitely didn't watch Marty Supreme. Remember that fucking hotel scene where he fucking fought? He wasn't rich. But anyways, so that's the topic of the show. It's the main thing I want to talk about today. So let's get into the What I Watched This Week segment, where I talk about what I watched, give you some brief reviews of what I watched. And yeah. Alrighty, so what I watched this week kind of started into Sunday. So I watched Landman, season 2, episode 8. Now, this season is getting kind of crazy. Nothing's happening. I'm going to be real with you. Nothing's happening. People online are starting to notice this too. And I actually agree with them. This is like the first time in my life I've ever agreed with anybody online. Good God, nothing's happening in this movie, or in this show. People are mad that they killed off John Hamm. They're like, well, I don't think he necessarily added so much to the plot. I just think that because the problem is this, because my big issue with season 1 is that they didn't give Demi Moore anything to do. The bigger problem is this, now that she's taken his spot, and also you wrote it that he was going to die the first season, so I feel like they should have definitely had her do more shit in season 1, so that way we could at least like her character, maybe sympathize with her character, like even like at the beginning of this season, like when she has scenes like where she's crying, or like, oh my God, my husband's not, I don't give a shit, because I feel like I don't know her. She's just kind of like, it feels like she just literally got popped in the show, because she showed up like twice last season, 2 times. And so, yeah, I got a lot of problems with it though, but that's how Taylor Sheridan show gets you. Even though I dislike a lot of the problems, and I have a lot of problems in the show, and the plot's moving nowhere, this and that, I still fucking love it. I loved the TL scene where he's got like the woman over and she's like doing like the water stuff with him, with the water therapy. That shit's so like good. Even like that, it was kind of sweet too. And there's like a lot of funny scenes. Tommy's really funny, and so I still like the show, and I still fucked with the episode. It's just that in the critical head, I'm like, damn, it's like a shit, like a 3.5. But in like and I'm sitting there on the couch, I'm like, man, it's like a 10. I still love the show. It's a hate love relationship. It's a problem. So then we got the new Fallout episode. I'm going to barely tackle this one a little bit, and I guess that we could throw the Pit in here too. Didn't finish both of those episodes. Fallout, I was in the middle of, but I went to Percy Jackson because I wanted to watch the movies this week, which I'm going to get into those last because one really pissed me off, and then two they're all over the place with reviews. Fallout episodes start off really good, and I watched about 5 minutes, so that's all I can tell you on that one. Percy Jackson, I will go on and tackle since that's what I stopped it for because I was like, oh, Percy, I've been loving this season. I'm a big fan of the books when I was growing up, but I'm also one of those people that probably should reread them because I've kind of forgotten everything. I remember like major characters, major events, like I know how it ends, stuff like that. But there's like a lot of stuff happening in this. I was like, did that happen? I don't know. Maybe it didn't. There's stuff that happens where I go, oh, I remember that. And so I was like, okay, maybe this stuff all did. And so I don't know. I remember online, like first couple episodes, like especially on Twitter, people were pissed. People were like, man, I fucking hate the show. I like it. That's also coming from somebody that's kind of forgotten some stuff. So if it's not fully book accurate, I understand. But I like the show. I have fun with these characters. I really like this world that we're in. I love that they went to Polyphemus. I thought it was cool. Especially with us getting into Odyssey later on this year. I thought all that stuff was awesome. And so, yeah, I really love, like, even like that Tyson fight was really cool. I'm glad that he showed out and did whatever. And so it's really leading to a good finale because I think we have 1 or 2 more weeks left. I think 2. Just like Landman. So that's that. Going into the Pit, I actually had about 15 minutes left of this, but I literally was going to go to sleep on the couch last night. But we're back. We're back, baby. Literally, the one guy, and I cannot remember his name, but like the one guy who's doing like the substance stuff, that's like my only issue right now. How the fuck are we back at work? How are we back working? I feel like when you do shit like that, which I guess it was kind of under the radar, like how Homeboy did it, like how he reported it. Like, I don't think he's necessarily reported. He was kind of like, bye, like, get the fuck out of here. So maybe he, like, went to counseling and just like that proved himself. I don't know what all happened. I guess they'll get into that. I have 15 minutes left. Maybe they show it in this episode. I don't know. But the July 4th stuff is getting crazy and I'm excited. Okay, last show that I watched this week was His and Hers on Netflix. The show with John Bernthal and my girl, Tessa Thompson. This is based on a book where basically Tessa Thompson and John Bernthal had like a child, and the child ends up dying. They haven't gotten to that in the first episode. I'm just going to kind of recap the first episode, slight minor spoilers here and there. But yeah, you get, and I guess I should have said at the beginning, this is my first episode. I do apologize. I'll put like a little warning or something there or whatever. But yeah, it's a really good show. It was really slow the first episode. It does things that you can tell writers love doing. Like, for example, if I haven't seen my wife in a year and she showed up to me and asked me a fucking reporter question, I'm gonna be honest. I would have been wanting to throw hands. Okay, because what the fuck? I couldn't find you for a year, been taking care of your mama who's like got fucking dementia and shit, or our child just died and you fucking left and abandoned me, and then the next time I see you, you ask me a fucking question about a fucking murder? The hell is wrong? I don't like Tessa Thompson's character so far. I love John Bernthal so much. I'm loving his character so much. There's a twist with him at the end where I was like, oh fuck. I was like, well, this is going where I think it's going to go, but you know there's going to be some damn twist. You know there's going to be a damn twist. So maybe it ain't what you think it is. So I said, okay. So we get into the movies I watched this week. I think I did one on Sunday. The other one I did on Monday. I know that for sure. And I think I did the other one on Wednesday. And those movies are Greenland, 2020, Honey Don't from last year, and After the Hunt. I watched Greenland. Okay, we'll start with a positive first. I watched Greenland because I was like, oh, the new one coming out this week, and I need to review that. Okay. And so I was like, nice, we're going to review this for the channel. It's going to be cool. I like Gerard Butler. Didn't know I would love this movie like I thought I would. I was like, oh, 4 out of Letterboxd, 4 out of 5. It was fucking fantastic. I was like, this is a disaster movie done right. It's so fun. It's so awesome. I'm in love with the characters. I was in love with this world. I thought it was funny there was no apocalyptic stuff happening at all. So I'm really interested to see what's going on because the second fucking movie looks like the most wildest shit I've ever seen in my life, especially based on how the first one ended. I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know where they're gonna go from now. A little nervous about the sequel, especially. I don't think is there any reviews out for that. I haven't seen any. Let's go see. Hold on. Let's go see what this is on. Let's go see what this is on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, 6 out of 10 on IMDb, 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what the first one is. Let me go look up what the first one is because I really like the first one. First one's got a 77 on Rotten Tomatoes. Same score on IMDb. Okay. I don't know. I'm still excited for it, but it's one of those things where, based on the trailer, I was really like, oh, okay, I'm tempering my expectations because this first one's fucking golden for me. It's a little golden goose that I missed. So now let's get into the iffy movies. Let's leave After Hunt last because I got fucking words for that movie. Hey, Honey Don't, I thought was actually kind of funny. I actually really laughed a lot in it. My problem was the plot and the pacing and everything else. Everything else was like, oh, this taking place like the 50s or something like that. You know, like a neo-noir type of deal or something like that. Maybe like the 40s or whatever. But then like at multiple times they talk about like modern day things. She has like a fucking iPhone 17 and shit. And like she's doing all this other stuff. And I was like, oh. So I was like, why does homeboy not think that she's lit? Like I was like, is he just stupid? I was like, okay. And then I also thought it was weird once I found out it was modern day within like 5 minutes of watching this film. Also because of how Margaret Qualley talks in this movie. She talks like she's in the detective. She's like on a journey or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? This ain't like the 40s. Why are you talking like this? It doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing it? Like, even like the way her filing system is, I was like, nobody her age would fly. It's weird. The movie is odd because I feel like you should have somebody older playing her character for like stuff that she does. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why does she have a filing system that somebody, I don't know, who's like 50 or 60 would have grew up on, right? Maybe even in her 70s. She's got a filing system. I was like, Margaret Qualley, is Margaret Qualley not like in her late 20s? Even though she's in her 30s, there's no way she grew up on that filing system. Any other way. That doesn't make any sense. Movie don't make no sense. The Chris Evans stuff, I thought that stuff was fucking hilarious. It also doesn't tie into anything. Like, nothing's in a nice little bow. There's a twist that it's weird and doesn't make any fucking sense. All the closure stuff with Chris Evans just kind of happens off screen and you don't really, it's just kind of all over the place. At first I was really like digging it and then I was kind of, this is okay. I get why it was alright and why it was rated like that. If I were to rate this on the channel, I would probably give this movie a 5, maybe a 4.5, maybe. I feel like a 5 is where I sit it because I did laugh a lot. I did think it was funny. And so now After the Hunt. Ayo Edebiri, fire your fucking manager. Fire your fucking manager. Andrew Garfield, we'll just take this as an L. It's okay, buddy. People don't like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I like that movie, but people don't like that one, so we'll just say this is one of your rare L's, right? Ayo Edebiri was in 3 awful movies last year. 3. I guess they were all filmed the year before. Okay. Julia Roberts, once again, I'm not going to give her any hate either because she ain't played nothing in a while. She was like, oh, I like this director. I like this director. It literally is like the most pretentious thing I think I've watched in a fucking while. Like, it literally is one of those movies that wants you to make you feel like it's super smart, but it's not. It's not smart at all. It's not even fucking close. It's not close at all. It's not. It's not fucking close at all. That's actually enough of that. We're gonna leave it at that. I just am pissed off because like even like the ending, I was like, this is it. This is it. 2.5 hours. Movie could have been an hour and a half. It really could have been an hour. This could have been a little Saturday morning cartoon special for 30 minutes based on what they told in the plot. I don't care. It's what that movie should have been called. And so before we end the show, I do want to talk about some upcoming events. I will be reviewing Is This Thing On? Primate, Greenland 2, and the people that we met on vacation. And wait, I have the rip on here. Oh wait, the rip. Oh yeah, I guess that's right. By the time you'll see this again, yeah, I will have watched the rip. Jesus, yeah, because that'll be next Friday. And so yeah, and I will be watching those and reviewing those. I'm excited for those movies. Actually, all of them. People Have Met on Vacation is an Emily Henry book. I've never read it. I know that the romance women on TikTok love that. Hey, remember, shout out to the homies. I love books. Is this thing on? I've been waiting for. I wish that I got it around Christmas. I'm excited for that. Primate sounds awesome. I'm hyped. Greenland 2. I'm excited because the first one, but I'm not super excited based on that trailer. And the upcoming shows this week, we have the new Percy Jackson episode, new Fallout episode, new Landman episode, which the Landman and Percy Jackson episode, I think, are the penultimate episodes. They're like right for the finales. And then I have on here Hijack because that show, I really love season one. I'm confused on how you make multiple seasons of the show because, if you watch the first season, then you know that Idris Elba stops plane hijacking. This time, he's like, I can do it all. I can do it all. He's stopping a subway hijacking, and so I was like, okay, is like season 3 gonna be like in a car? Like, what are we gonna do for multiple seasons? And so I am curious. I'm more curious about that than the actual show itself. And then Ponies comes on. That is a new Peacock show. I could tell you who's starring in it right now to save my life. I don't need these actors' names by heart. And then, as far as upcoming events go to look out for this week on the channel, Boogie Nights Pixel and Popcorn is on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. We'll be watching that this weekend also to do a review on, which is funny because I've never seen that movie before. I just got it on 4K, so I'm excited about that. That is coming on Wednesday. And then episode 2 of the podcast is going to be coming next Saturday. Depending on how this format went, depending on if you liked it, comment down below and let me know your thoughts on if you liked this format and how you felt about this format. I feel like the news show, if I had complaints myself, I feel like the news segment went a little bit too longer than as planned, so I might actually just get some topics on the next week's, and I think I might just do it like that. I might just pull maybe some news topics to talk about for a while, also have some topics to talk about for a while, where it just kind of flows a little bit, because I feel like I was just kind of talking about random news topics, and that wasn't really flowing that well for me. But I'll probably keep everything else the same when I do talk about what I watched, what I did this and that this week. So it's kind of a little behind the scenes in a way. Because remember, we love books and movies. And so, yeah, with that, I'm going to end it here. This is the first episode of the Chocolate Broadcast. If you watched all this and you somehow got to the end, thank you so much. Like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys next week with a hopefully tweaked, as we learn a little bit from this first episode. Episode 2. We'll catch you guys next Saturday. It'll drop at 8 a.m. if you want to watch it first thing. If not, it's going to stay on the channel. It'll be on a podcast feed, anywhere on YouTube, Spotify, should be on Apple, should be on these other ones. And if not, it will be coming to them. But if you're watching this on YouTube, then you already know. You've already seen it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.